What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Beetlejuice. This one came out in 1988 and was directed by Tim Burton and stars Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder. Now before we start, do the like button, subscribe, post notification bell so you know for a video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So all the actors and actresses in this film are fantastic. You have Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, Winona Ryder as Lydia Dietz, Catherine O'Hara as Delia Dietz, Alec Baldwin as Adam Maitland, and Jeffrey Jones as Charles Dietz. They are all fantastic in this film. The opening sequence, I thought it was good. It's basically Adam and Barbara, who's played by Gina Davis, in the house, and their car crashes, and that leads into the title sequence. And I thought it was a overall good opening sequence. It was fun and entertaining. The cinematography, which includes the shots of camera angles and the lighting, is great. I really, really love the look of the film. Tim Burton really has his own style with how he frames every shot, and this film looks very, very well done for a film that came out in the late 80s. The practical and special effects are fantastic. I really, really love the practical effects in this film, especially the stop motion creatures like Beetlejuice. He turns into a snake in one scene in the film. It's very, very creepy. The stop motion is awesome. I really enjoy Tim Burton's use of stop motion. The first act of the film I thought was great. It sets up the characters well. I cared about the characters. I cared about what was happening. Of course, they introduced you to Beetlejuice, which is one of the best characters Tim Burton has ever created. So overall, the first act, I thought it was great. The Land of the Dead sequences, they're all great. They're very fun, very entertaining. You have Beetlejuice, the guy with the very tiny head, all these weird and wacky creatures that are very, very fun to see on screen. They're creepy, and they fit Tim Burton's style very well. And of course, like I said, all practical, so it looks fantastic. There's also a great use of shadows in this film, especially in the Beetlejuice snake scene where Beetlejuice turns into a snake, which is a very creepy sequence in the film. The use of shadows for that sequence is fantastic. It works because it shows the darkness of Beetlejuice. The second half of the film I thought was very well done. It continues the story well. I cared about what was happening, and it was very, very entertaining. Michael Keaton is fantastic as Beetlejuice, very, very iconic. He's easily one of Tim Burton's best characters. Beetlejuice is easily one of the best characters Tim Burton has ever created, and Michael Keaton plays him to perfection. There are also many creepy sequences. The practical effects, like I said, are used very, very well, like the snake sequence, and all the creatures that Tim Burton has created. They all look fantastic. There are also many hilarious sequences, mainly with Beetlejuice, Charles Dietz, Delia Dietz, especially the dinner table sequence with the banana boat Deo scene. That is one of the greatest sequences and one of the most iconic sequences in this entire film, and it's very, very fun. There's also a great relationship between Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz. They do have sort of this friendly kind of relationship until you get into the third act, which I'll get to later. But they do have sort of this friendly, weird relationship in the film, and it works very, very well. There's also a good enough story. I cared about what was going on. It wasn't a bad story. It was good enough, and I was entertained throughout the entire film. The third act of the film is very fun and very entertaining. It goes off the charts, wild and crazy, and it is awesome. There's also a great seance and marriage sequence in the third act where Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz are getting married in the third act, and they are both very, very funny in that sequence, and that entire sequence is very funny. There are also some great practical and stop motion sequences, which I said earlier about the snake. It eats Beetlejuice in the third act of the film, and the stop motion is fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the stop motion for that sequence because the snake looked awesome. The score by Danny Elfman is once again a great score. I really, really love the score for this film. It has that sort of fun and energetic tone to it while also having this sort of creepy, sort of Addams Family-like tone to the score. So the score was overall great. And the ending sequence I thought was great. Basically Lydia Dietz floating in the dance scene with the Banana Boat Deo song with the transition to the Land of the Dead with Beetlejuice. A fantastic way to conclude this film. That's about it. There's nothing bad about this film. Beetlejuice is a classic horror comedy film. It is one of the best Halloween films that I've ever seen, and I highly recommend it, and I'm going to give Beetlejuice an A. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, post notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.